watching or reading the news, reading the Wall Street Journal, reading your emails. Who doesn't read their email? Like, I get it. But I just happen to be very involved. And I've been in the industry since what, 2001, licensed since 2001. And I just remember how commissions were shared. And I say remember because the one thing that the brokerage did for me was they explained to me that I need to explain how I get paid. Exclusive agency agreements for me since 2001. Now, was I able to get every buyer to sign an exclusive buyer agency agreement? No, not really. But here's what you need to know. So Friday, March 15th, 2024, the National Association of Realtors settled the Sitzer-Burnett case and other compensation or commission lawsuits. Now, the number for the lawsuit was like billions. So, but the National Association of Realtors agreed to pay $418 million to the plaintiffs and change its policies. Now, in our market, our multiple listing service and even my local association worked on documents to kind of help out the buyer's agents and even the listing agents and the sellers and the buyers, investors, landlords, etc. However, so our local associations started working on this right away. Our multiple listing service even changed how compensation would be listed in the multiple listing service. Like, compensation could be whatever was agreed on by the seller. I mean, it could have been nothing. So in this lawsuit, and the fact that NAR settled. Now, first of all, I'm not an attorney. I don't play one. Work with your brokerages. Show up to your local association meetings, state meetings, and national meetings. Some of you need to be at mid-year because you need to learn about this. So show up and work with your brokerages. I do want to say this. So in the settlement, some other things happen. I'm looking for my notes. So bear with me because I got some things up on my screen. I've got a lot of things up on the screen. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's over here. So on my screen, and by the way, you should read your emails because my state association, Illinois and Florida, my local association, my state association, and NAR sent an email. So all of you should go skim your emails for probably the words NAR settlement. I'm trying to zoom in here so I could read because I didn't put on my glasses. And so Friday, the announcement came out. And I'm reading from the Illinois Realtor Association. And Illinois Realtors. So the National Association agreed to put in place a new rule prohibiting offers of compensation on the multiple listing service effective July 2024. Let me say that again for those of you in the back or in the nosebleed seats. Effective mid-July, prohibiting offers of compensation in the multiple listing service. So you were used to seeing an offer of compensation for the buyers, the brokerage that is representing the buyer. And I told you that our multiple listing service changed the way compensation could be put in. Again, seller could opt for nothing. NAR is also saying that in order to be for buyer agency agreements, so NAR will require written buyer agency agreements for the multiple listing service participants, which will also go into effect in mid-July. Do you even know if you have an exclusive agency agreement in your state? That part. Do you even know if your brokerage has an exclusive agency agreement? Now, I'm a boutique brokerage, so I love the local and state associations because they help us run our business. And so they're always working with lawyers and brokers to come up with documents. So to me, this is easy. What's going to be challenging, and again, I am not here to give you any advice on how to manage this, although my advice would be is to go back to your brokerages. If you are managing a company, if you own a company, you might need to just meet with your agents and brainstorm. Like, you might need like a mind map on the wall. You might need to brain dump to come up with how is this going to actually work. As a minority, do I think this could? I'll say as a minority, underserved communities, the missing middle, the people that are sustaining our, the United States, I don't know what the average income is for your communities. You could probably figure that out if you go to Real Choice Property Resource. But there are going to be some communities where, and because some of you are like, well, wait a minute, Carrie, there's no compensation for me as an agent. That's not what we're saying. It just can't be in the multiple listing service. So now you need an agency agreement with your buyer. And you're probably thinking, well, Carrie, my buyer they can't afford to pay me. So they were used to the compensation coming from the brokerage that listed the property. It doesn't mean that the listing brokerage can't cooperate. It just means that the way we handle business is different. So here's my challenge. Number one, go back to your brokerages, have a conversation with the broker owner, with the training department, and with managing, and come up with some concepts like, how are you going to handle this? If you were really not good at explaining how you got paid, yeah. Because even, Caremark agents, because I'm talking to you, we're going to have to sit down and brainstorm. Like, for those of you that are really like, well, Carrie, I'm terrified of the exclusive agency agreement. And you guys know that I want you have to explain agency. You've always had to explain agency. And then you had designated agency, or you could have been, agency just because you started working with the buyer, but the buyer could have worked with anyone. I actually think this is going to make it a little bit easier for agents, because now you really do have to explain how you get paid. Does it mean that the seller's not going to pay a closing cost credit to help the buyer's agent get paid? I mean, like, my brain is spinning on so many ideas of how we handle this. So my huge recommendation is, Caremark agents, watch for an email, because we're going to brainstorm. And I actually want to do this in person so we can have conversations around how this will work. And my other challenge for all of you would be is, show up to your brokerage meetings. So that was really number one. Number two is, even my agents, show up to the local association events, state events, and national events, and own it with your clients. Like, say, listen, this is what has been going on for decades. This is how we explain compensation. Typically, the listing brokerage cooperated with the buyer's agent's brokerage, and that's how we got paid. It didn't mean that the buyer didn't finance the whole compensation. It just simply means it was just easier, because the buyer may not have felt the pain of it, although the buyer was essentially mortgaging the entire compensation. So yeah, think about it. What ideas can you come up with? Caremark agents, type them in the feed, and yeah, let's plan. We might have to do like a midday event, because I know I got dual career agents, I got full-time agents. We need to meet. And let me know, do we need to meet, at a restaurant? Will you focus? Do we need to meet in my house? Where can we kind of just get comfortable? We can meet at the office, but where can we get comfortable to talk? And for all of you that are watching, yeah, how can you do this better? Don't panic. Go read your emails. Thank you so much for watching another Learn to Earn with me. I am Carrie Little, the designated managing broker of Caremark Realty Group. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you continue to learn to earn with me, and take a second and follow me on Instagram and